The movie starts out with Nicolas Cage rolling out of his vehicle that has been punched by some spikes. But then a really convenient tow truck comes. The tow truck guy blibbers and blabbers, but Nick does not say a word. They drive to a place named Hayesville, and the scene cuts to a woman named Liv trying to pour Willy's Wonderland on fire. But as soon as she's going to light the place up, the sheriff of that town stops her. They drive to an old cabin. The sheriff locks Liv up to a pole, and the sheriff gives her a bag. So at the towing place, Nick sees some missing posters. The tow guide tells our boy Cage that it's going to be about $1,000. But the guy does not take credit card. So Cage does not have the money. The tow guy calls Tex McAdoo, the runner of Willy's Wonderland, that he has someone. Tex McAdoo introduces himself to our boy Cage. Tex asks Cage if he has a deal. Tex shows Cage all the cleaning stuff, and now Nicolas Cage is officially on staff. And then the Avengers come out and try to help Liv. One of her friends tries to kick down the door. Another one of her friends, Aaron, finds out that it's unlocked. While the boys try to figure out where the key is, Casey figures out with a lockpick, I think. I don't know what that is. They bust out the door and start heading to Willy's. We head back to Cage, cleaning up Willy's Wonderland, and he goes for his first break. He starts cleaning up the place. He grabs a punch, takes a sip, and throws it away. He rips his towel thing off this machine. Figures out it's pinball. Yay! He starts mopping up the floor until one of the animatronics start moving. Ozzy the ostrich appears behind him. Cage here hits the ostrich with his mop or broom. Awesome fight scene. Ozzy starts pecking at him, but Cage fights back with his broom. They keep fighting, but Ozzy makes a big mistake. She lunges at his cheek, slicing it open. Mr. Cage breaks his broom in half. He sweeps at Ozzy's legs, knocking it down. He starts bashing at Ozzy until Nick Cage grabs its throat out, killing Ozzy. We then cut to the police station, but I'm not going to spend so much time here. Cage covers up his battle scar with some tape. He goes to throw out Ozzy, but then realizes Tex locked him in. He grabs another punch and sips it, and he starts cleaning up the pinball. He continues cleaning it and then throws his punch away. He goes to the bathroom to clean it all up. There's a lot of graffiti. I mean, a lot of graffiti. A big cleaning montage. He starts cleaning up the mirrors until Willy and his crew start to sing. Birthday, and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party, everyone. Cage turns off it. Don't worry, Willy, I think it was a good song. While Cage is looking at Willy, the bathroom door closes. When he walks in, he sees "It's Your Birthday" painted in ketchup on the mirrors. But then someone starts closing the stall doors. The voice tells him if he is hot or cold when he starts opening the doors. When he opens the last door, he sees that no one's there. But then Gus Gorilla comes crashing down, knocking him into the wall. Gus starts getting Cage, throwing him into the wall. But then Nick starts punching Gus. Gus and Nick are wrestling around until he throws Nick into the door. He opens it, and then he has a plunger. He starts throwing him around, breaking the mirror. When he smashes the final time, he throws him into the wall. He makes him bite the curb, killing another animatronic. Cage goes on his rake and starts playing the first game of pinball. Then the kids arrive to Willy's, rolling out like the Transformers. They start pouring the gasoline, not knowing that Nicolas Cage was still in. But just when they're about to light on fire, Liv notices that Nick is still in there. Liv tries to get his attention and warns him that he's not safe and they have to get him out, but he doesn't listen. But Liv found a way in by crawling through the air vents. Little does she know, she is not alone. When she's crawling, Artie Alligator appears behind her and starts trying to eat her. But she finds a way out and survives. But now she has appeared in Siren Sarah's Fogland. When she's in, Siren Sarah keeps running around and then goes right in front of her. When Siren Sarah appears, Liv always punches at her. But Siren Sarah eventually grabs up and catches her. When Nicolas Cage is inside, he finds some blood. But then Liv goes down and he catches her. Liv tells him about Siren Sarah, but Nick does not listen and leaves. On top of the roof, Chris and Bobby have an argument. And then...
Baby, let's go. No, Chris!
They all fall into the ball pit because Chris knocked Bobby in. And then Liv comes and sees that they're in. And now they can't get out. And then Liv tells them that the animatronics start singing. And she starts to try to stab Siren Sarah. But Cage gets her out of the way. Nick leaves and the others follow him. But Bob and Kathy decide to go to the Super Happy Fun Room, splitting up from the group, which is pretty dumb. Liv tells Cage about how he was lured in for a sacrifice, and about the private show with Willy Weasel, and how the children would die. And when the police officers went in to investigate, the 6 killers did a demonic ritual.
Why?
But Nick Cage didn't really listen. But while we're talking to him, Bob and Kathy have fun. But then the 4 that were with Nick Cage start to listen to Willy singing, which is a really good song.
6 little chickens would be just fine. 6 little chickens and the weasel stand.
But when Willy finishes, Nighty Night stabs Aaron in his stomach. Dan slips in Aaron's blood, narrowly dodging Nighty Night's attack. And Aaron eventually bleeds out. While Casey and Bob are having fun, Casey notices that Artie Alligator is looking at them. Dan finds a place to hide, but he's with Cheeto Turtle and Siren Sarah. And Chris runs into the Gus Great Arcade and calls 911. The sheriff picks it up, but almost immediately puts it back down. But once Chris says that Liv is there with them, they do go. But while that is happening, Dan is crawling to find a place, but they keep getting him. Siren Sarah does a Hurricane Rana and makes Dan go into the foam pit, and they start eating him alive. Nighty Night is breaking tables and is about to get Liv, but Nicholas comes and throws him to the ground. He throws him into the wall and throws him back onto the ground. And then Cage grabs Nighty Night's sword and decapitates him. Casey sees that Artie Alligator moved, but it's too late. Artie Alligator starts eating Bob's chest. Casey tries to get out, but the door is locked. Liv and Cage come, and Liv hears Casey, but it's too late, and both of them are dead. Nicolas Cage kicks down the door and sees that the crocodile has eaten both Casey and Bob. Artie Alligator runs at Nicholas, but he throws him down. He starts punching him left and right. Cage spreads out Artie's mouth, trying to rip his throat out, and succeeds. Cammy comes into the Gus Date Arcade where Chris is and tells him that she's not like the others and how they call her ugly, which is the most obvious trick ever. But this dumbass believes her, dude. And Cammy tells her that he can show him what's on the other side. The sheriff tells the officer about how he got Willy to feed on people and how she met Liv. Liv comes to the Great Gus Arcade, or whatever it's called, and sees Chris with Cammy, and then Cammy snaps Chris's neck. Cammy's about to fight Liv, but then Cage comes in. But it's break time, so he gives Liv a pocket knife. Cammy slips the pocket knife out of Liv's hand and starts trying to fight her. Liv starts punching at Cammy, but Cammy brings her down and she kicks at her. Liv tries to leave, but she slips. Cammy starts dragging Liv with her tongue, but then she throws her. Liv starts stabbing Cammy. When it just looks like Liv is about to die, our boy Cage comes in and starts smacking Cammy around the arcade machines. Nick starts dragging Cammy while she's still alive, but meets Siren Sarah and Tito Turtle in the hallway. But a smack to each knocks them both down. But just when Cage was about to do who knows what to Cammy, the sheriff comes in and handcuffs him. And Liv drops a fire line.
He's not trapped in here with them. They're trapped in here with him.
Though Cammy gets up and Siren Sarah walks in. And Nicolas Cage turns on a beatbox or something that plays head, shoulders, knees, and toes. When Liv and the police officer are in the car, Liv says that he's a murderer. They both keep talking, and he says that she said things right and he's gonna change. But Tito Turtle starts choking him out and gets him out of the car. Tito Turtle throws the keys and the bullets. Back at Willy's, Cage crushes Siren Sarah's head with his thighs. He breaks the handcuffs and then gives Cammy the two-piece combo, making her neck spin. And Liv is beating up Tito Turtle with the shotgun since he dropped the bullets. She eventually stops and heads back to Willy's. Nicolas Cage actually continues cleaning up the place, which is crazy. But now we're going to see a face-to-face battle with Willy Weasel and Nicolas Cage, a.k.a. the janitor. Never mind, it's break time. I'm going to keep this on in the background because I really like this music. But Nicolas Cage actually gets his highest score on pinball. Yay! When Nicolas Cage got out to get the trash, the sheriff noticed him. And when Cage was going to get back in, the sheriff stopped him to get him back in and feed him to Willy. But he appears right behind her and slices her in half. And then Nick Cage and Willy start to actually fight. But Willy throws him into the "It's Your Birthday" button and the birthday song starts playing. Our boy Cage, though, gets done dirty here and gets slices into his chest and his back. Then Willy Weasel throws him into a ball pit, but Nick Cage really hits the "I always come back." Nicholas gets ready for the next fight, and he tapes his broken room together. Willy comes to face him, but every time Willy attacks, the janitor reverses it. Nick Cage keeps beating up Willy until he's on the ground. Even on the ground, Cage keeps beating Willy up until he rips his head off. The tow guy and Ted Smackadoo arrive to Willy's Wonderland and the brand new fixed car, expecting Cage to be dead. When they look inside, they see that the place is actually clean and the animatronics are gone. But Siren Sarah is still alive and she sees the lighter and gasoline on the floor. Cage gets out of there and meets Liv outside. They get inside and Nick Cage puts on his really cool glasses. Oh yeah. In the car, Tex McAdoo and the two guys start talking about reopening it with all the animatronics gone, but Siren Sarah blows them all up. Nick gets out with the fire in the background of his sunglasses, making him look like super duper cool. And when Nicolas Cage was about to drink his punch, he gave it to Liv, and Liv took a sip. But there's still one more animatronic left, so...
Qué chingando.